Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400 and the brown skin Hewitt, coming back at you with another video cartoon intro remake review intro. This is the intro to various remade cartoon reviews and rants. For some odd reason, even though I did do this in the past, when it one of the Sonic songs I used has a copyright on it, and it's not a big deal. But if I ever when I decide to set this channel up, when I get eligible for monetization, I can't get any money from ads from the video, so that's why I'm just redoing it with two different songs that surprisingly don't have copyrights on them. This version is the same as the last one, except my clothes and stuff will be different, and of course the intro songs will be different. Instead of using what I'm made of, I will use the songs intros will be Weekend and Sonic's Back in Time. And for cartoons that do deserve a rant, or for videos that do deserve a rant, what I'm made of will be used as the outro for the various cartoons. So yeah, this is the intro to various narration. Part 1 will be narration. Second part will be season and episode webcam reviews spliced together in one video. Some of these won't go on all platforms. Yes, some of these will only go on YouTube, and some of these will only go on Facebook. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. Let's go back in time to when television and cartoons were great. everybody. This is the first part of my 4 plus Mega Man cartoon series review that in the future will be followed by will be followed by three more plus sets of webcam reviews in the future, but that's way in the future. This is the first 4, which will all be narration. And as you can see by the title above, this is my part 1 review of the Mega Man cartoons and my thought on the most recent Mega Man cartoon that aired 6 to 5 years ago. What's that cartoon called? Mega Man Fully Charged, which I've seen bits and pieces of. And to tell you the truth already, before I get started, really don't care much about. I just wanted an excuse to talk about these Mega Man cartoons, which I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. Been wanting to talk about these for a long time, but I really only want to talk about 2 of these cartoons. But I felt it fair to mention all three cartoons, even though there's just 2 I really want to talk about. Yeah. So with that being said, let's start off with the very first one. Mega Man, the 1994 Japanese American Canadian anime cartoon hybrid. This cartoon right here was phenomenal. While I find other video game based cartoons like Double Dragon, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Defenders of the Realm, the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons, and even the craptacular but hilariously bad and entertaining Darkstalkers cartoon, I find all those to be more exciting. But the Mega Man cartoon, if I had to choose, the Mega Man cartoon especially of the North American adaptations, the Mega Man cartoon is the best video game based adaptation of all time. From the North American cartoon collection, Mega Man is the best. Believe it or not, I first heard about this cartoon in the early 2000s, almost a decade after it had been on the air. I saw the DVDs and actually the VHSs being advertised on Amazon, but I could never find it in stores. And I could never find it at stores, not even at my local media play, which the now defunct media play. Could never find it at stores, so I didn't get to see the cartoon until YouTube was a thing. I saw bits and pieces. I watched several episodes in 2012 and 13. Never finished watching the entire series from episodes 1 through 27. I could have sworn there's 27. I thought it was just 26. I've seen multiple from season 1 and the big Mega Man X adaptation episode from season 2, and I never felt like rewatching the entire series to do the full season review, the individual season reviews splashed together. So like I said, that's why I came up with a new style to watch just a couple of episodes, then do a short narration review based on what I just watched, and then we watch the rest and then review it season by season, and also bring back the post-episode review and reactions, which I debuted with the Disney Channel in 2020. I'm going to do that for classic and modern retro cartoons and animes. So with that being said, Mega Man 1994, one of the best ever. Each episode gets better and gets better and better. This cartoon is a cross between the original Mega Man, the original NES, Capcom, NES, and Super Nintendo Mega Mans, and the
the X series. Mega Man was heavily redesigned here to be more superhero-like, and the cartoon itself is a cross between the the late 80s, early to mid 90s Japanese animes, the late 80s, early to mid 90s Ruby Spears cartoons, which this is Ruby Spears Productions had an involvement in his cartoons. Ruby Spears cartoon and the action and video game cartoons of the 90s. Yeah, and I consider it one of the best. It was finally happy I got a chance to see it, and finally it feels good to be watching it again. I wish, oh yeah, I wish I saw it back in the wishing I wasn't old enough to watch it when it was around, and when I was old enough, the show was no longer on the air. The show no longer was running. At least it was not on any of the channels I knew about. No, it was no longer on the air. And what else? What else about this show? It was much better than the Mega Man cartoon that I unfortunately grew up with, and that's the early 2000s Mega Man NT Warrior, which is called, I think, Battle Force, something like that. Oh, Battle Network. That's what it's called, which is based on a video game, based on its own video game. This right here, in my opinion, is one of the weakest and worst entries in the Mega Man, what's his name? I so wanted to watch the 90s version when this was on. However, this takes me back to the early 2000s, and it was still a good, solid anime. Just a weak Mega Man adaptation. This was one of the many spin-offs. He had multiple spin-offs. And I consider this to be one of the weakest ones, even though I have new interest now in that. Now that I know that this was a gigantic anime franchise with multiple sequels, and the Japanese version looks better than the version I saw. So I think this is the worst Mega Man cartoon. I have renewed interest to watch this again. And like I said, nostalgia does take me back to the early 2000s when television was at its best. Television and anime was at its best. Yeah, this is the issue I had with this is that it wasn't like the old school Mega Man. This was Mega Man, no matter what version, original, X, Legends, they all kept in the cartoon. They all kept with what the spirit of what Mega Man was. This felt more like a cross between Beyblade and Digimon. That's the issue I had with this cartoon right here. But I'm really interested in rewatching it again. But this is why it took me so long to review Mega Man, because I always wanted to watch. I always wanted to talk about the original 1994 and the next one coming up. The next one is, in my opinion, one of the best animes around, and Cartoon Network should have pushed it harder than they did. They aired this one time as the entire season one as one gigantic movie special. All the episodes splashed together as one movie special, and after watching bits and clips of and I've been a huge fan ever since, even though I haven't watched it since its premiere. I'm rewatching it and I'm loving it. And that's Mega Man Star Force. What a phenomenal show this was, and Cartoon Network should have pushed it as further they should have. This is a cross between the previous one, a much better version of Battle Network NT Warrior, a much better version of that, and this is a cross between Mega Man X, Mega Man Legends with elements of the future Bakugan series, which will come after this. What's that other show called again? Bakugan. Bakugan and the Blue Dragon anime, which I think was around the same time as this. That came here later after this, but it was aired around the same time this was. The Blue Dragon franchise is what this is, with small elements of Digimon, as it features an anthropomorphic companion, just like the Digimon Digital Monsters franchise. You want to cross Mega Man with Digimon and Beyblade? This one did it much better. This one is just like the previous one, except it's the animation, of course, since it's 2006 and 7. The animation is way better. The animation is way better. The characters here are much more. The characters here are much more exciting, and characters here are much more exciting. Action is better. Everything is much better, and it has a cool science fiction space, cool heavy sci-fi space comic book like edgy comic book like theme. I think I hear the manga is even darker than this anime right here. Probably one of the darkest entries in the Mega Man franchise since the X series. So yeah, these were the 3 Mega Man cartoons. Yeah. The 94 and this one are the ones I'm watching the most, and Cartoon Network should have pushed this harder. This alongside Naruto and Bleach, Blue Dragon, the new Bakugan series. Cartoon Network should have pushed all of those hard. Those should have been the next generation of Toonami. Those should have carried them until you had to come up with something new for the newer generation of Toonami. So yeah, this was Mega Man Star Force, and the franchise, in my opinion, needs to be given a chance again, man. Yeah. So yeah, this was Mega Man Star Force. Now let's talk about the newest one, Mega Man Fully Charged. Mega Man Fully Charged. This was a pretty good series for Cartoon Network. In 2018, considering Sonic X had been Sonic Boom, the previous CGI series had been canceled. This, while not as exciting as that, was a good replacement alongside the OKKO Let's Be Heroes, which was also canceled, and it was also good because this series right here was one of the many only action-oriented shows you had at the time. This was a cross between the 1994 Mega Man cartoon, the Sonic Boom cartoon that aired before. Sonic Boom cartoon aired before this. This had the same format. And the classic, Super Friends, Ruby Spears and Hanna-Barbera shows of the 60s and 70s, where they were like half of an hour, 11 minutes each, splashed together parts to make 20-minute episodes. Probably the only part I really didn't like about this, that style was old school, in my opinion. It should be a whole 20 plus minute episode. So yeah, Mega Man Mega Man Fully Charged. This was good. I never finished watching it, but it was good for what it was. May watch it again, but I just decided to talk about this because I wanted an excuse to talk about the other cartoons. Everything about this cartoon was good except for that 11 minutes. This is a fast-paced, comedy-driven action adventure show instead of a larger spread out story arc like the previous Mega Mans were. That's the only issue I have with this cartoon. But other than that, it was good. But I'm not sure if I'll actually watch it. I just really want to talk about the other Mega Man cartoons, which I've never talked about. So yeah, this has been my review of Mega Man, the Mega Man cartoons. You want to see the larger real life superhero version, the link will be in the description box below, and the other versions too. You don't want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
Ain't nothing Hey.